So for me, it's about how any space exists at multiple levels and multiple times and at multiple periods. So every place has existence which we don't see. So does art materialize that, like any art form, does that materialize a form of existence which we can't perceive because it doesn't exist in that time and space, but it does exist.
True.
So art can bring about an existence which does not exist at a particular time and space, and which we can experience at a later point of time and space. So for me, probably
Sure.
I interpreted that as.
For me, what was important was, like, light for us back in days, like 300-400 years back, was never a tool for us, right? We only perceived light as something that comes out from fire or from above the sky. But then later it became part of our living. We use it for lighting our homes. Then we started using it for communication. Optic fibers is light, right?
Yeah.
Now with that, we're using communication, video, sound, a lot of things are happening. For me, I'm thinking, if you look at the patterns in mass media, like Christopher Nolan's movies, Inception, Matrix, and before, it was all about time travel, looking time as a new dimension. So I said, if time is a new dimension, right? So maybe in future we will be able to control it. I'm anticipating that. I'm proposing actually.
Okay.
If that could happen, so then time is a tangible thing, right? For me, as a sculptor, I like things that are tangible. And when light now is a tangible thing, right? You can play with it, you can do whatever you want to do with it. So for me, bones means time, Why? Because they never placed right now. They're always in history because it's all about a dead animal. Past,
Okay.
clear, right? So there's no dilemma of now time, because there's nothing that exists now, especially with time. It's either past or it's future. So I used bones as a metaphor to talk about time, like legitimizing it as a physical space. So when you walk through, I'm calling it as a time box, like kind of a time space, where you're walking through time itself, but through the analogy of what I'm thinking of bones, If you look at it the other way around, if you just take the title and just kind of dissect it, bones of time, think of time as an animal.
Okay.
Or any creature. You look at the bones of the time. Means what it is made of, So when we're talking about space, we're thinking of it as nanoparticles, as smaller dust particles, as oxygen, as gases and all these things. Maybe we have to kind of really dissect time as well to kind of really understand what it is made of, and then reinterpret it to use in our own kind of communication or whatever we might use it. So it's got multiple levels. And especially a doctor came in, she went through the thing, and then she's like, this is death for me. Because the doctor only sees a bone when either the guy has a broken leg or he's dead in the mortuary, right? So for her, white means life. What is inside the box or what's inside the installation means death for her. So the title that she would give is life and death. She was only talking about life and death. So it was interesting for me how the spectator or my co-participant really engages with it in a much richer level than him. So Achia Anzi, an artist, he came, and then he's like, one of my initial ideas was to give a write-up, because I thought they're too conceptual sometimes, maybe people will not get it. But he said, if you give a write-up, and the person who is coming may be more intellectually engaged with the work, because maybe he's particularly coming from that field of expertise or whatever, and you give a write-up, you might actually dilute his idea. He'll be like, oh, they're just bones. I thought they were much, whatever, He might have an erotic idea or phalluses or whatever, Somebody was... Creepy ideas, right? So I'm actually curbing their ideas. So then I was thinking, okay, yeah, that's true,
Yeah, so you removed
No, I didn't put it in the first place, but then he's saying...
remove the idea.
Yeah, I removed the whole idea of having those write-ups,
Yeah, okay. That's a great